evening, folks. We're going to do a little lecture today. I'm going to introduce you to something that I came up with. Well, maybe I didn't come up with it, but I came up with this. So it's called my 10 Commandments of Analysis, the 10 Koas. Yes, right. We got 10 commandments up in here. They're blank right now, but we'll have a little Moses moment. Wait, was it Moses? No, was it Abraham? No, Moses. When he comes down, he's got his. Apparently, he came down. I guess everyone was fucking off, so he created some new ones. Oh, look, that shit's like glowing because I got my heater down below. Yeah, so we can come in with our commandments. They're blank. They're blank right now, but we'll have our Moses moment. People, I've got commandments for you. Smash. Something like that. But yeah, we're gonna write on them. So what this is it's a left meets right, east meets west. I said if we honestly use all of these inherent qualities, every problem can be figured out and solved to completion. Left, right, east, west, all around. Now, the thing with it is this. We've been taught one way, or, well, at least tried to shift our brain the other way. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. We ain't got much time. So what we can do is look at it like this, and it spawned off from, I don't know if I was thinking about the Myers-Briggs or what, but that is at least a little influence, not entirely, but the extrovert, introvert, sensor, intuitive, thinker, feeler, judger, perceiver. I'm an ENFP, NFAP. That's my tagging name. But anyway, so what I did was I looked at similar things, and I thought I also got some of this, a collection of thoughts, including my own. So let's just start here. Logic. Hope that came out. So we're going to look at logic. We're going to go into Merriam-Webster's dictionary, which I like because it's Merriam, which is like Mars, Marine, Ma. EM is in I am Ma. And her Webster's like a web. She's casting a web. Everything ends in stir, star. But yeah, we're going to leave that for now. But it's interesting that a dictionary, which is a diction, not a definitionary, which if you look into some old works, I remember I came across this with some old Dave Murphy stuff on language, and it was getting into, if we see in pictures, it's less of a way to have confusion, but the way that modern language is now, there's like 95 definitions for each word, creates confusion. Let us go down and confuse them. We'll expand on this later. This is just a primer, just an introduction. But that's what's interesting. It's more like precise. There was less, or maybe not even at all, miscommunication. It's like how dolphins see in pictures. Dolphins can even project pictures into the other dolphins, essentially, to allow them to see. Like one time there was I think it was a trainer was in a tank and he left, but the dolphin already had that image, and then it was like, and then it told its other dolphin homie, and then it then had that image in its head. Crazy. What? Okay. Imagination. So logic, a science. Ooh, a science. We love our science that deals with the principles and criteria of validity of inference and demonstration. God, the screen is fluttering like motherfucker. Sorry. The science of the formal principles of reasoning, a branch or variety of logic. See, this just goes on and on. This is 1A, 2, 3, a branch of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, a particular mode of reasoning viewed as valid or faulty. Which one is it? Okay, but on the other end, well, if you looked at what's on the other side of intuition, that's where we have logic. So on the other side of logic, we have intuition. And yeah, I said that backwards. Whoops. But not really. Intuition. All right, let's see what intuition's all about. Okay, we're going to do this kind of quick here. Intuition. Da-da. Okay. All right, Miriam, casting your web over us with your definitions. The power or faculty of attaining to direct knowledge or cognition without evident rational thought or inference. The power or faculty of attaining to direct knowledge or cognition without evident rational thought. Basically saying you're not rational if you use intuition is how I could read that. Like you're cuckoo. Cuckoo for the Cocoa Puffs. You cuckoo for the Cocoa Puffies, Puffy Cocos, the Puffy Cocos. Uh-oh. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of like Let's see if we got any other little examples in here, Miriam. Immediate apprehension or cognition, knowledge or conviction gained by quick and ready insight. Your spidey senses, intuition, highly needed. It's what animals run on. Well, we all run on it. We're just taught we're not, and they're messing with it. So we're going to keep going. After intuition, now we have another one. So we're back to the left. Man, this screen is pissing me off. And you're going to be able to follow this train of thought quite easily. We have objectivity, which is good. We need to be objective. We need to analyze and not have our opinions and our emotions come into play, but it's kind of impossible. You're kind of always going to see through your lens. I remember doing an experiment one time in grad school, and we had to figure out, we had to quantify a qualitative behavior, give numbers to just people stuff. Okay. Little kids, actually. So we had to define what was like happiness or sharing. I forget. So then it's like, well, now what do we define with that? It's like, well, every time the kid shares his food, that'll be one. So then how do we define a lot of sharing? Is it two or more actions of that behavior within how many minutes? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? So you're like defining something which is really hard to do, but then you're actually coming up with your own parameters, but you have to agree on it with someone else and then test it and then retest it and all this stuff and yada, yada. It gets crazy. Anywho, objective. Expressing or dealing with facts or conditions as perceived without distortion by personal feelings, prejudices, or interpretations. Not bad. We got to do that. Limited to choices of fixed alternatives and reducing subjective factors to a minimum. God, this just goes on and on. 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, 3D. How many definitions we got? Involving or deriving from sense perception or experience with actual objects, conditions. Okay. Well, clack. We can making all this noise here. Well, on the other side of objective, we then would have subjective, the personal experience. I wrote one. I messed that up. There we go. Subjective. Gotta have it. So how do we interweave that? We'll get to that. But yeah, the subjective. Let's see what Miriam has to say about this one. Oh, Miriam, what do you have first now? Of relating to or constituting a subject. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Of relating to or characteristics of one that is, see, even I'm like glazing over definitions. I'm like, blah, blah. Or of one that is subject, especially in lack of freedom. Obsolete. What? Relating to or characteristics of one that is a subject, especially in lack of freedom, of action or is submissiveness, of relating to the essential being of that which has substance, qualities, attributes, or relations, characteristic of a belonging characteristic of or belonging to reality as perceived rather than as an independent. Okay, this is good. Characteristic of or belonging to reality as perceived rather than as independent of mind. Ooh, like your mind is what's perceiving, but it's your mind, your lens. So objective would be independent of mind. Oh, or wait, I think I said that right. Peculiar to a particular individual. That's all the way at 4A. That should be 1A, dumb nuts. Come on, Miriam. Step up your game. Modified or affected by personal views. There we go. Experience or background. See how far we have to get? This is why language is confusing. You wonder why people can't talk to each other. It ain't just speaking Swahili to a fucking Chinese man. No. It's in your definitions. 3. Remember, COAs are 10 commandments of analysis. You apply these to any problem, you're going to solve it. Thinking. Ooh. This one, I'll be honest, I kind of got from our friend Myers, Mr. Briggs. Thinking. All right. Well, we got to use both sides of our brain. That's why you have two sides. Otherwise, I guess you just have one brain. Maybe that's what happens when you ascend out of here. Your brain becomes one with itself. Oh, little brain, have you become one? Thinking, the action of using one's mind to produce thoughts. Uh-oh. I've heard our mind doesn't make the thoughts. I've heard it's, well, let's just say coming from elsewhere. All the scientists said they got it from elsewhere. Ain't that right? Not all the scientists, but like the crazy good, not crazy bad, crazy amazing ones said they got it beamed down, Tesla and all these dudes. Shit, probably Einstein, AI, Einstein, Albert Einstein. Thought that is characteristic as of a period, group, or person. Thinking. All right. Well, on the other side of thinking, and this is the one, like I said, might have been slightly used, not entirely made up on my own. Feeling. Oh, it's so nice to feel. Clack, boom, bang. Sorry about that. Yeah, what does feeling have to say about things? I mean, Miriam. The one of the basic physical senses of which the skin contacts the chief end organs, and of which the sensations of touch and temperature are characteristic. Yeah, okay, this is like literally feeling. Yeah, but we want more like, oh, generalized bodily consciousness or sensation. I like that one. Appreciative or responsive awareness or recognition. See what I mean? You can kind of just go through which ones you want to pick and use those. That's how we got a problem here. An emotional state or reaction. Ooh. See how when you define these, it's like a reaction. It sounds bad, like you're having a reaction. Oh, you better not feel, only think, because that's logical. Remember the other ones basically said you sound cuckoo for the puffy cocos. The undifferentiated, God, I'm having a hard time talking tonight. Sorry, folks. The undifferentiated background of one's awareness considered apart from an identifiable sensation, perception, or thought. The overall quality of one's awareness. Ooh, I like that. Well, when we have data, you do have to have this, and this would be empiricism, empirical. Commandment number 4, 4A. Let's see what we got. Originating in or based in an observation or experience. Originating in or based on observation or experience. Relying on experience or observation alone, often without due regard for system and theory. Relying on experience or observation alone, often without due regard for system or theory. Well, that's interesting. Empirical data goes against theory. What? Is this when science snitches on themselves? I love when science snitches on themselves. That'll be a whole thing unto itself. It's kind of like when they say, like energy wasn't created or destroyed, or it can be. It just transfers into a new form. So what are you saying? Something came from nothing? What are you saying? Nothing dies? But you tell us that all the time something dies. You tell us all the time something came from nothing, or things just exploded and kablooey, and all of a sudden we came from some muck to some muck to some star explosions to more muck to star explosions. But if energy was never really like lost or whatnot, and you tell us that, then you're essentially saying that there was no point of creation. Yet you also say the Big Bang. Anyway, it's called when science snitches on themselves. I call it the Big Sang. Not the Big Bang. All around the world, same song. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Capable of being verified or disproved by observation or experiment. That's good. That's good. We need that. Empirical. But on the other side of empirical, we have empathic. Ooh, empathy. Empathetic. This is just a crash course, folks. We're going to go in more depth lately. I really can't talk right now. I meant later. And let's see what that has to say about things. Miriam. All right. Yeah. Let's see here. Empathic. That doesn't empathetic. I got to do empathic. Empathetic. Empathically. Gave. Where's the definitions? What's happening right now? Involving, characterized by, or based on empathy. Okay, empathically. Listening empathetically. Well, come on now. God, see, it's like one word leads you to another word, leads you to another word. It's like Miriam just gives you rabbit holes to go down. And I hate to say Miriam's got a big rabbit hole, but she does. It goes all which ways in all directions. She cast that web. Whoopsh. Jesus casted a big net too. He's a fisher of men. All these nets being cast and webs being weaved. All right, empathy, the action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of another. When I was a kid, I actually thought the greatest superpower ever. At first, I'm like, oh, I want to fly. No, I want to freeze time. Oh, but then I'd be alone. Oh, wait, I can undo my friends and like hang out with them too while others are frozen. Kind of like Evie. Oh, that's funny. Her name was Evie. Ha. On Out of This World with a little alien dad. Remember? Big old hit from the 80s, 90s. And then my little compassionate ass self was like, No, the greatest superpower ever would be for if people could experience what other people are going through, like really be them. All of a sudden, you can make the homeless person be like the rich person, and the person who can't walk be like the person that can. And then they'd experience the other person, and then they'd see it through their eyes, and all problems would be solved. Nothing bad would ever happen ever again. Because if that really did happen, you couldn't be bad, you couldn't be mean, you couldn't be judgmental, you couldn't be anything ever again, ever. But anyway, that's what I thought. So apparently that's empathy. Before I even knew what the fuck empathy was. I could have some like, and I could just make everyone do all that. Like the corporate evil lords. I even thought like that kind of level. Not like they were evil overlords, but I thought the ones who now want to do the bad stuff at the top. I thought even if they saw what happens at the bottom, they'd change. And then we'd all be just kumbayaing and fucking drum circling or some shit. We'd be namasteing. Namaste. Nah, I'ma leave. That didn't get us anywhere. Let's go. Empathy. What else do we got? The capacity. Here we go. That's a long one. The act of imagining one's ideas, feelings, or attitudes as fully inhabiting something observed. The imaginative projection. Ooh, now see projection. Sense 6B. God, rabbit hole. Of a subjective, see subjective. Oh, now they want us to look at subjective all of a sudden? We were just there. Entry 1, sense 3A, state into an object so that the object appears to be infused with it. Man, this is okay. Yeah. Like they're like the good shit they put word spells on. Come on now. Calm down, Miriam. Must be that time of the month. Or just kidding. All right. Oh, we're down to the last one. Down to the last one. The brain, the psyche. The psyche. The first thing it comes up with, a princess. A princess loved by Cupid. A princess loved by Cupid is Psyche? Okay. Greeks are everywhere. Apparently, the Bible's a Greek stage play. But anyway, the totality of elements forming the mind. Whoa, that's a good one. Damn. And that's all we get. All right. The totality of elements forming the mind. Well, we'd have to define elements. We'll come back to that. Now, when you have the psyche, you can almost just say, what's the other word on the back end of that? That sounds just like that. It's psychic. You knew it. You guessed it. All right, folks. That's our 10 Commandments of Analysis. We're going to break that down real quick. We're going to go into a few more things. And I'm kind of hyper. We're kind of flying through this. I'm going to take a sip from my horn mug. Some of these bomb little kombuchas that has flavor. It's the Cola Yola. All right. Psychic, of or relating to the psyche. Huh? We were just there. Okay. Whatever, Miriam. Lying outside the sphere of physical science is a good one. Or knowledge. What? Outside the sphere of physical science or knowledge? Ain't that the shit? That's got to be the best thing ever. Immaterial. Keep talking, baby. I love what you're saying. Moral or spiritual in origin or force. Miriam, I love you. I'm going to get down on one knee real quick after that definition. Thought I saw my doggy. She's like, you cheating on me? Woof, woof. Sensitive to non-physical or supernatural forces and influences. Ooh, speak of my language, baby. Marked by extraordinary or mysterious sensitivity, perception, or understanding. Hot damn, we got to have that in our commandments. That's 10 of them. Let's rise them up like Moses did. I come down with my commandments of analysis. Any problem you want to solve, just apply these, and that will happen. If we honestly use all of these inherent qualities, every problem can be figured out and solved to completion. Left, right, east. I just jumbled that one. Left, right, east, west, all around. Yeah, even Moses stumbles on his words. Fuck off. No, don't. Let's bang out. Let's bang some shit. I found this the other day and I put some tape around it. Look at this. It's like my scepter, like a cane. I put some PVC piping around because I'm like low budget royalty up in this bitch. Let's bang out. Yeah. Let's conclude some shit. Ah, boomba. So I'm gonna do some rah shish kumbah. Anyway, I found this in the garage the other day. It's a nice little prop. We're gonna use that a bunch. Yeah. All right, let's break down some other stuff before I time out here. Okay. Left brain, right brain. We're gonna get into more of this. Left brain, verbal, analytical, orderly, better at reading, writing, and computations. Right brain, visual, intuitive, creative. Both hemispheres cooperate in most activities. All right, let's look at this. We'll have some diagrams later, but this one is a little fun one. I'm gonna break it down real quick. Left hemisphere, right side of your body. It's interesting that most are right-handed. They kind of taught the left-handed out of the student body at one point. Ain't that right, T? That's T. That's my homie. Say what's up, T. What's up, player? Yeah, he's a gangster. He was locked up for 65 million years, 8 days. He comes around. He's my only fan. See, he's got a fan even. Matches his colors. Fan me off, baby. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hot. I'm feeling good. Fan yourself off, T. Anyway, when I talk to T, I normally talk like this. Ain't that right, T? You know it. Yeah, that's right. All right, here we go. I don't know. It's silly. It's stupid. He's my co-host. Just deal with it. Right side of the body, left hemisphere. Spoken language. Okay, not bad. Right hemisphere, left side of the body. Huh? Left side, right side? It's like when your eyes, your vision splits, and everything just crisscrosses. Where are we living? What a weird polarity. That's like there's two sides, two on the dot.com, two on the dot.com. Spoken language versus music. Woo! Music of the spheres. Remember? All around the world. Same song. It's a universe. Universe, united in verses, or universe, one verse. Who's playing the chorus, though? Left side. Well, left hemisphere, right side. Number skills. Okay. Other one. Right hemisphere, left side. Spatial orientation. Other side. Scientific functions. Other side. Artistic functions. You see a pattern here. Written language. Art awareness. Reasoning. And then the last couple are, they put hearing. Insight. Again, still in the right hemisphere. Reading and creativity. Woo! Ain't that everything? Everything's creative. The solution exists before the problem. Can't make a car unless you design it in your head first. Okay. So there's that. Here's another one. Left side, functions, analytic thought, logic, language, mathematics, and science. Characteristics, objective, rational, reality based. I'm looking all over the place. I got to get used to the camera. Right side, functions, holistic thought. Whoo! Intuition, creativity, art and music. Characteristics, impetus, risk taking. They're teaching that out of the people. There's no more boo boos. I realize this. If you have stock in Band Aids, sell now. There's no more boo boos being made. No more mamas to kiss boo boos. That's a whole lecture we'll get into. But anyway, no more risk taking, no more experience. That's one of their prime objectives, is to eliminate experience. Experience is the point of life. That's life. That's the meaning. And they're teaching that out of motherfuckers. So we're going to teach that right back into y'all. And fantasy based. Motherfuckers. Get back in your right side. What happens when you graduate college? You cross the stage, you get a scroll, a nice rolled up piece of paper. You have a black square, a nice black cube on your hand, spinning you in circles. Saturn. We won't get into all that. Half the stuff's probably nonsense, but no, I don't know. But anyway, you have your little gold tassel. Your gold, they're mining the gold, the mind. Mine. There's. Oh. And you move it from the right, the creative, to the logic, the analytic, the I will command. Steins, right? You will obey. I don't know what that was, sorry. And then you go get that paper from some gaudy wizard, warlord, Merlin looking dude. When the high ranking, teacher, professor dudes come in with their robes and all their hats and, are we at a sermon, a Catholic sermon? What's happening? Anyway, ugh. Yeah, that's one of them that I noticed. Anyway, yeah, like I said, this is 10 COA, the commandments of analysis. We go left and right to left, do it all. Here's another thing. When you read, they made us go from left to right now. What if we started in our right into our left? We would have started in the creative, the imaginative, the fantasy-based, the intuitive risk taker, and then shifted to the logic, mathematical science. Isn't that how creation works? But now they're saying, no, you need your logical math first, boy. And then you can maybe be creative, but we're even going to take the arts out of school, boy. Anyway, yeah, that was a doozy. That was kind of scattered, but not really. We're coalescing our lecture skills. We're going to do a whole little series on this because it's going to be something I apply. Again, 2 on the dot if you need help with anything. We're going to do it all. You want to figure out why you might have trust issues? We'll analyze that. We'll figure it out. We'll use the empirical and the empathic, right? You want to figure out why there's just generations of the same learned patterns of behavior? Let's apply the objective and the subjective. You need help with anything, writing a book. Your book, it's your book. It's one of my things. Write your own book. You're your own author, not the author. A T, the little author. No more. Oh, wait, both sides. Oh, wait, I got to do it with my left hand too. Crap. I was so weird as a kid. Whenever something would happen with my left, I'd always have to like do it with my right or vice versa. Like, even if I just sort of like scratch my thumb, I would have to have my left thumb feel the same sensation or something. Not like I would just go and like hurt myself again, but like little things, weird stuff. But the more I get into it, the more it's like my little being was like experiencing both sides. Trippy shit. I don't put my shades on because we got to get a little smooth in here. You like my scarf? I go, listen, Scotland. It's the Cameron clan. It's one of them. They have more than one. Does it have a little tag on it still? No, I took it off. Anyway, that's what we got for now. Hope you liked it. We're going to go in a lot more. Let me rattle off some of these. I just found another picture. Left brain, pattern perception. And it's still amazing. You need your left side. Oh, what's that doctor? I was going to mention this. You got to look up. Oh, shoot. Man, I had this last time I was looking at her. My God, it's one of the most amazing lectures ever. Because one of her brains done shut it down. No, one side shut down and she experienced the world through one side. And it was unbelievable. And it's like coming straight from a brain scientist. And the way she breaks it down, you swear you were listening to some like witchcraft sound and stuff, or what they teach you it is. Oh, crap. I should have had this pulled up earlier. Oh, there it is. Jill Bolt Taylor. Jill Bolte Taylor, however you say it. Phenomenal. Look it up. Yeah. Yeah. She breaks it down. It's like she's trying to remember who she is. And she gets in this creative, like she just sees matter just going into like, there's no end to it. But then her analytic brain comes in. It's like, wait, I need to call work to tell them what's happening. She had like an aneurysm or something happened and one side of her brain shut off. Was it? Yeah, the left side, the objective, the logic and all that. And man, I need to re-listen to it. That is a lecture and a half. It's a TED talk. Look it up. Jill Bolt Taylor. Bolt, Bolt, Jill, and then Taylor. Yeah, something like that. You'll find it. Anywho, that's what we got for now. It's a good one. Yeah, we're gonna go deep on this. We're gonna get more into the psychology, some more of the science, some more data, because we need that. It's also how you can disprove that. We can rewrite the textbooks with our own data, with our own science. We can put it together. We can use it against them in a sense. Like I said, when science snitches on themselves. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see it in the corner or which way it's facing, but it says House of Lords. Shh, quiet. Doesn't say shh, but quiet. Please, Parliament in session. That's my gavel. It says 2 on the dot. It says find your fate. It says claim your destiny. It says own your life. Why? Because that's a brilliant order, love. Now you can do whatever you want. But my advice, go on and get the fuck out of here and unleash your awesome. Because you're awesome. Peace. I'm going to make this brief. So I have what I'm calling a prequel or preamble, a pre-ramble that I'm going to put before a video after I watched it, came up with a couple points. I realized my jokes are not too quick, but somewhat tangential. And so I find them and then I kind of talk about them more. Well, anyway, I made a little clip, I was going to put in the front, but all my little cartoony things and whatnot, they're so lined up. I couldn't figure out how to put it in the front. So I put it in the back. So this is just bonus material. There's a little interlude saying, hey, keep watching. There's about 9 minutes or so. Some good little rants about the dictionary and whatnot. All right. Things are clunky right now. Again, this is grassroots, baby. We start from scratch and we learn. And knowing isn't half the battle. Making mistakes and learning from them is half the battle. Taking that knowledge and applying it in real life, that's fucking wisdom. And that's the battle. Peace. Yeah. Howdy, y'all. This here's the prequel, the preamble, the pre-ramble. Say what? Yeah, don't worry. I already watched the video for you. But I need you to, well, still watch it. There's just a few little bullet points, like we're going to do. Just a little recap. Well, the pre-cap. As I bang stuff, I got my scepter here. Anyway, it's a new little prop. Forgot I had it. Found it the other day. Anyway, add or subtract what you want from this. It's basically a way I just looked at solving problems. Left and right, east and west. The good, the bad. Well, there's really no bad or good, I guess. But anyway, my videos are going to be a little clunky, a little funky, a little chunky, possibly a little spunky. Anyway, it's grassroots, baby. We're getting used to it. I'm not used to talking or this and that. I got that skill set, but just the little nuances and the whatnot, just deal with it. I tend to get a little hyper. I can only record 30 minutes at a time right now with what I'm using, but it's kind of nice because it limits me. I can just keep going. Although I could make more and just add them. So there's that. But anyway, we're going to have a little series out of it. So just go with it. It's early inception. It's like a new creation, a new baby. You don't like get mad at babies for crapping on themselves or getting SpaghettiOs all over their face or whatever it is. Raw milk. Das Baby milk. Leche de chichis. Anyway, no, you don't get mad at the baby. So don't get mad at me. Don't get, oh, there's no high-end production and this and that. That's why it's good. It's kind of like, remember that show, what was it? Eric Andre, when the little comedian, he would jump around and crash through things. $100 budget. Anyway, funny stuff. So, again, I just came up with a simple means. It's not simple. It's complicated to run through a way to solve problems. That's what this is. I look at the definitions, well, from the dictionary, but dictionary is a diction. So we make fun of that a lot. We're going to go into that. And that's a whole nother episode. But Merriam-Webster, I just can't help but think the name Merriam, which is mir and mar, and I am, and then Webster is a web, a star. So anyway, let's look at that. Again, it's kind of interesting. Merriam's also a kind of a famous name. It's in the Bible a lot, or once. I don't know. But yeah. What's problem is when there's definitions, it'll be like 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 2A, 2D, 2D, 3D, or 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D. It just goes down this list, and it's like, how many do we have? Back in the day, we had more like pictograph-based communication. This and this meant this and this meant that. There was less communication. Less communication, that didn't make sense. Less confusion. Proper communication. I can't have 45 different definitions of the diction and then I just pick which one I want. And you'll see me even do that while I'm doing it, which is kind of weird. And then it references you to something else, which is kind of weird. Anyway, we'll get into it. These are things just to be aware of. They're about to come heavy. Yeah, this is the pre-ramble. Remember. All right, Miriam, let's look this up. Your name, the name Miriam, is of English origin, is derived from the Old French word merry, or merry or joyful. Okay, but we're going to now talk Bible, which is before the French. That's kind of funny. It is a surname that was likely given to someone who had a cheerful or lively personality. Oh, that's nice. The name Miriam carries connotations of happiness, mirth. Ooh, I got that mirth. Whatever. And a positive outlook on life. The name Miriam is of Hebrew origin. Okay, I thought it was like French, but that's cool. And is derived from the name Miriam. Okay, cool. Right? You just like took an R off. Same thing. It is commonly, for real, it is commonly believed to mean wished for child. Wished for child? Wished for? Why are we making wishes for that child? Or bitterness? I thought it just meant marry. You happy? Wait, the French, you are happy. But to the Hebrew, you're bitter. What? Make up your mind. God damn. Smoke your cigarette while you count your shekels. Anyway, in the Bible, Miriam was the sister of Moses. Ah, how apropos, because we bring our commandments. I didn't even realize that until now. God, I love this world. And Aaron, Aaron, whoop, whoop, known for her leadership and musical abilities. Oh, that's nice. So you're a bitter musician? You some sad, depressed, like gothic alternative chick? Whatever. I like the Frenchy version better. She is happy, so witty and gay, or something like that. Anyway, yeah, now we're starting to get crazy. Merriam-Webster. So we had to look it up. Here's also the company. Merriam-Webster Incorporated is an American company that publishes reference books and is especially known for its dictionaries. Yeah, no shit, we're using it. In 1831, George and Charles. Ooh, George and Charles. Very British, very regal, very king-like, very kind of prominent names. I always pick up on names. They're interesting. Merriam, that was her last name. Merriam instead of the I-R. Well, 2R sometimes, IAM, founded the company as G&C Merriam Co. in Springfield, Massachusetts, not to be confused with other Springfields. In 1843, we don't know the history on this. We'll get into that in another episode. After Noah Webster, Noah, well, hot damn. We got Merriam, we got Moses, we even got Noah. We got all the heavy hitters, baby. Bring it. After he died, oh, so sad, the company bought the rights to an American dictionary of the English language from Webster's estate. So apparently he had that. All Merriam-Webster's, now it's hyphen, got both. Cool. It's like they monopolized the motherfucker. I bet they killed that dude. I'm just saying, I ain't just saying it. I didn't say it. All Merriam-Webster dictionaries trace their lineage to this source. No shit. In 1964, Encyclopedia Britannica, Inc. That's weird. The Clopedia has the AE next to it. I was just listening to a talk, and Steve Falconer was saying in Denmark, yeah, they still have the AE, but it's like the AE, the ether, the IE. I don't know how to even say it. Wow, Encyclopedia Britannica. That's so interesting. He just mentioned that. Oh, that's weird. That's in there. Anyway, they acquired Merriam-Webster Incorporated. Wow. Oof. Can we trust them? Probably not. As a subsidiary, the company adopted its current name in 1982. That's the year I was born. Great year. Best one ever. Hey, okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we got that out of the way. Let's click those out of the way. And more of the pre-ramble. Okay, we're getting a little long here. We got to go. Oh, yeah, I mentioned when science snitches on themselves. It's kind of interesting because they're like, energy can't be created or destroyed, but then everything just sort of created out of nothing, but we won't really mention that. It's like almost like, well, is it the no thing? Like there's no things, but they just sort of glaze over that real quick and boom, kablooey, more explosions. And then we come up with some pond scum monkey alien people. I guess that's us. And so, yeah, but they snitch on themselves. There's like these little nuggets because they basically just told you there was no start. They also say it can't be destroyed, just transmute. So there's really no death, yet they preach death. Everything is built on death and fear. So you're revealing some secrets, but it's hidden. And then we interpret it this other way, like this group truth goes over here when they actually just said it, and it's really over here. To be continued. Gym shoes, that's a good one. I actually thought the best superpower ever, which could like heal humanity, was gym shoes. Get in my shoes. Gym shoes. And where, let's say, like a homeless person could then feel like a king, and some tyrannical king that enacts some stuff to almost make that person stay homeless. I don't say make, but you know what I mean. That king then would have to be in that person's shoes, like mentally, everything, the whole body, not you, like the whole nine, you name it. Some shit I came up with as a little kid. I thought if they could experience that, they would know. It was like, what was that episode of I don't know, it's probably Family Guy or something, where one of the inmates, he was running around stabbing people, and then finally someone stabbed him, and he's like, oh God. Oh, that hurts. Oh my God, is that what that feels like? All these years, I've been doing that to others. And he had this whole epiphany. Hilarious, right? Basically that. Again, we're just going over key random bullet points or little things that I don't even know why I'm doing these, but hey, it's different. You never heard this kind of thing before. Define elements. I glazed over the psyche. Spoiler alert. Not the spoiler on some like Acura Integra in like the 90s. It's like, dude, you got like a commuter car. You can't just throw a fucking 7-foot spoiler on and expect to go fast. Anyway, Rice Rocket, do you like my power? Yes, I like your power. Anyway, so we glazed over it because it said it was like the combo of all elements. I don't know where to go with that. Again, we're going to do individual videos on these. So, hey, to be continued. Sorry, Psyche. But it's like, I don't know, pretty cool. And lastly, we mentioned Jill Bolt Taylor. Her stuff is amazing. I heard a talk, and it was basically, not basically, it was to where one side of her brain, the logical analytic side shut down. So all she had was the intuitive creative side. Amazing. I mentioned that at the end. I pulled that out of nowhere. I was like, done. I thought of it before, completely just it vanished. And then all of a sudden it just came back like that. And I was in this moment. It was like, boom, bah, hoo, ha, ha. And then I came up with it. Anyway, that's the end of it. This was crazy. Anyway, that's what we got. I just said anyway a couple times in a row. So anyway, that's what we have for now. It's Keon Short's Friday Hour, Truth and Laughter. Do something awesome with your lives because you're fucking awesome. Love you. Bye.